Hey everyone, and welcome back to the 8-Bit, your destination for everything video games. I'm Angela Nguyen, here with the latest news and reviews, featuring your favorite green sidekick Yoshi, and much more. First, we move across the pond to France for lots of big Sony news. On October 27, 2015, during Sony's Paris Games Week conference, developer Quantic Dream announced their new project, Detroit Become Human. Quantic Dream, who developed the interactive drama Heavy Rain, revealed an awe-inspiring trailer depicting a futuristic Detroit. Viewers can see the Motor City through the eyes of Kara, an android that has developed a conscience and is now looking for freedom. The game will take players on an emotional journey as they help Kara make choices that will each ultimately affect the outcome and progression of the game. The game will be exclusive to PlayStation 4 and does not yet have a release date. Also from Sony's Paris Games Week, developer Hello Games announced a release window for their game No Man's Sky. This sets the record straight after rumors of a stealth launch began circulating in the days leading up to the conference. The space adventure game has had a lot of buzz since it was announced a few years ago, and many fans are anxious to see what the final product looks like. Trailers for the game show vibrant worlds with unique indigenous creatures and an infinite universe to explore. Unfortunately, it looks like gamers will have to wait to explore that universe until June 2016. Dragon Quest Heroes is the latest entry in the long-running JRPG series from publisher Square Enix. The game sports a fast-paced hack-and-slash playstyle along beautiful artwork from famed animator Akira Toriyama. Check out our review.
Dragon Quest Heroes: The World Tree's Woe and The Blight Below is an action role-playing game by Omega Force, the developers behind the popular Dynasty Warriors franchise. Although the Dragon Quest series is known for its classic turn-based mechanics, Dragon Quest Heroes changes up the formula with fluid hack-and-slash combat. The charm and wit of the nearly 30-year-old series shines brightly throughout the game, but repetitive objectives dull the experience. Dragon Quest Heroes is a spin-off game in the Dragon Quest franchise that allows you to play as a number of classic Dragon Quest characters from the 10 games in the series. It takes place in the Kingdom of Arba, where mankind and monsters live in unison until the monsters suddenly attack. To save the world and win back the hearts of the monsters, the Royal Guards must find the source of evil that spurred monsterkind to violence. The narrative is bland, generic, and you feel the constant need to mash buttons to skip the dialogue. Combat in Dragon Quest Heroes is hectic, fun, and satisfying. Players use the spells and abilities of characters to mow down thousands of enemies and build up combos. Performing huge combos increases the tension meter of the characters. A full tension meter allows your avatar to enter high tension mode, which prevents all damage distributed by enemies and permits the character to use their signature attack to inflict massive damage. Combat can be repetitive at times, but the ability to seamlessly switch between characters makes the experience fresh. The biggest fault in the game is this reliance on boring mission objectives. Players are constrained to fighting massive waves of enemies, defending an area, or fending off gigantic bosses. The formula gets repetitive after only a few stages. To add a bit of interest to the levels, ingredients for crafting can be found in pots around the map and can be dropped by difficult monsters. These materials can be melded into accessories that buff your characters in a variety of ways. The massive amount of fan service is where Dragon Quest Heroes really shines. From the brilliant character models to the hulking weapons dealer to the classic alchemy pot, fans will not be disappointed with the amount of attention to detail that the game employs. The only problem with the fan service is that it isolates gamers that aren't familiar with the series. If you are new to the Dragon Quest franchise, this probably isn't the game for you. Dragon Quest Heroes excels because of its excellent combat and fan service, but its formulaic mission objectives hold it back from greatness. The 8-Bit gives Dragon Quest Heroes a 7.5 out of 10.
Warner Bros. Has officially announced that Batman: Arkham Knight will be returning to Steam. In June, Arkham Knight was released and the Steam version of the game was riddled with game-breaking bugs, glitches, and low frame rates that left many gamers disappointed. A few days after release, Warner Bros. Cut sales of the PC port and promised full refunds to anyone who bought Arkham Knight. Along with the re-release comes a patch for all current owners of the game. The patch includes features from the console versions of Arkham Knight, including photo mode and an alternative outfit for Batman. Season Pass owners of the PC version will be getting all the DLC from the console version as well. Speaking of PC gaming, Blizzard Entertainment's new team-based shooter Overwatch entered public beta testing on October 27th. A limited number of US players have a chance of gaining access to the closed beta, followed by Europe and Asia at a later date. Blizzard says they want the testers to criticize the game as much as they can, including the gameplay, maps, and the various heroes. Before being eligible for testing, Blizzard asks that you own at least one of a few select games of theirs. If you don't meet the requirements to become a beta tester, then have no fear. Blizzard will also be running free-to-play beta test weekends in order to stress test their servers. In League of Legends, players have the ability to choose from a wide variety of costumes for their favorite champions. In the spirit of Halloween, we decided to do some League cosplaying with a little twist. Let's take it to Alex for this week's challenge segment.
Thanks, Angela. Alex here, and I'm back in order for us to do our latest challenge segment, League of Leggings. I'm here with the WSU League of Legends Club, and we're about to test their champion knowledge. All right, here are the rules. We split into pairs, and each pair will draw a name out of the hat. On each piece of paper will be a champion and an alternate skin. They will go out, dress as the champion, come on back, and read a line of their champ's dialogue. Other teams will score points based on how well they can guess each other's champions. The team with the most points will be the winner. All right, you guys, let's draw names out of the hat.
From the shadows. All the better to eat with, my dear. Master yourself. Master the enemy.
You smell like painting.
Toss them to the sharks.
Trick shot. The trick is not to get shot.
How many battles have I won?
The results are in. And the winning team is... Team Nico Nico. Thank you so much to the League of Legends Club here. If you want to find out more about them, check out their Facebook page. The link will be in the description below. Let's send it back to Angela in the studio.
South by Southwest, a music, film, and interactive media festival series, has had to cancel 2 gaming panels due to threats of on-site violence. The panels were set to be focused on the social landscape of the gaming community and the issue of online harassment within the gaming community. South by Southwest Interactive Director Hugh Forrest says, "The idea of the panels was to promote a valuable exchange of ideas on the topic. However, for the sake of the whole event, they had to cancel them." Does this prove the point that there's a harassment issue in the gaming community? Tell us what you think in the comments. On October 29th, Nintendo announced they would be releasing their very first mobile game. It's a free-to-play game called Miitomo, where players create a Mii, answer questions about themselves, and are connected to other people with similar interests in the area. A kind of Mii social network. The new social app will work in connection with My Nintendo, Nintendo's new account system designed to connect PCs and smartphones to Nintendo consoles. The game is the first in a line of 5 mobile games Nintendo plans to release in the next few years. Miitomo is set to release March 2016. Yoshi is back in Nintendo's latest side-scrolling platformer, Yoshi's Woolly World. The Yoshi series is well known for its wonderful soundtracks and unique art styles, but it hasn't satisfied critics in years. Can Nintendo reignite the magic of Yoshi in their latest Wii U exclusive? Find out in our review.
Yoshi's Woolly World is a cutesy platformer published by Nintendo and developed by Goodfield, the creators of Kirby's Epic Yarn. The game takes place on Craft Island, where woolly Yoshis leisurely spend their days relaxing. One day, Yarn Kamek, an evil wizard, comes by and disassembles all of the Yoshis, transforming them into wool in order to power up Wool Bowser Jr. A few Yoshis manage to evade capture and heroically rupture Kamek's bag. This causes him to leave a trail of yarn for the Yoshis to follow. The biggest thing going for this game is how it looks. The whole game is extremely pleasing to the eye and feels very clean and polished. This attracts returning players right from the get-go, but is also interesting enough to attract new or casual gamers. The gameplay honestly surprised me. Yoshi games are known for being on the easier side. However, Woolly World was pleasingly challenging throughout. As the game progresses, the puzzles and stages get harder, but in true Yoshi fashion, never become too overwhelming. The gameplay wasn't flawless though. My first knock is the dog Poochie. Poochie is your companion who assists you with puzzles from time to time. Unfortunately, Poochie felt hard to control and completing even a single task seemed to take ages. The other complaint I have is the Ice World. While many games feature infuriating ice worlds, Yoshi's Woolly World takes it to a whole new level, as Yoshi feels nearly impossible to control as he skates along the floor. The soundtrack is amazing. While many Yoshi games focus on a relaxing music tone, Woolly World includes several genres of music from slow jazz to metal. The variety of music is definitely a plus and really added to the overall experience. Replayability actually exists in the game, as there are well over 2,000 collectibles and more than 50 different Yoshis to unlock in-game, not to mention the Yoshis you can unlock with amiibos. Overall, Yoshi's Woolly World is a fun platformer that pretty much anyone can get into. The fairly easy gameplay is enjoyable, and the massive amount of collectibles makes it great for completionists. All this combined with a beautiful, detailed world is why the 8-bit rates this game an 8 out of 10.
In a gaming world where it seems there's no way to succeed without violence, Undertale is here to give you an alternative. This action RPG allows players to choose between fighting or befriending enemies, with each decision changing the game's outcome. See more in this week's Indie Spotlight.
Undertale is funny, charming, and dare I say it, moving. If you're smart, you'll skip the rest of this Indie Spotlight and just go get the game. But if you're insistent on learning more about the biggest little game of the year, well, don't say I didn't warn you. An opening cutscene establishes that humans and monsters fought a war long ago. The humans won, the monsters lost. You play a young child who has fallen into the monster's domain and must find their way out. Sounds like every other cliched JRPG out there, but Undertale's story inverts and undermines the player's expectations in every way. The classic rock puzzle doesn't quite act the way it should. Villains flub, falling into their own dastardly traps. Shopkeepers yell at you for trying to sell them stuff. Anything goes in the weird world of Undertale. This includes the game's crazy combat. You have two options: attack, which plays out like a simple timing minigame, and then there's act, where you play out weird logic puzzles with enemies to get them to stop attacking you. You can compliment a frog's looks, pet a dog, or pet two dogs. Use the right sequence of events and you can spare the monster. Not to say these monsters are necessarily friendly. If you chose to fight, battles manifest themselves as bizarre microgames where you can end up dodging bullets or avoiding dogs' barks. The combat's enjoyable and unique, but the story is what makes Undertale truly special. Despite all the goofy enemies and characters, there's a real sense of melancholy to the world. The ending not only catches players off guard, but it also might tug at some heartstrings. Overall, it's a fun, wacky journey worth every cent. Check out Undertale on Steam for $10.
And that's all we have for you this week. Come back next time for the latest news and reviews, including Halo 5 Guardians. Remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, and send us an email with your feedback. This is Angela Nguyen, Saving Progress.